Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Ask the Mediator. This is the show where we dive deep into the minds of the mediator, and we find out where they came from, where they're at, and where they're going. And today, I am honored to have on the air with me Jeffrey Bloom. Jeff, how are you today?
Great. Thanks for having me on, Eric.
No, it's good to have you. I know you are a very respected mediator up there on Long Island, or should we say out there on Long Island, and I've heard a lot about you, but I want to hear it from you today. So let me ask you this. Tell everybody about, let's talk about before mediator. All right, let's talk about, BC. All right, tell me about Jeff. Where did you come from and what brought you to becoming a mediator? Tell me about that, Jeff.
My last job where I had to work for somebody else was as a litigation paralegal, and I've done that for about a little over 13 years. And the firm that I worked for, I was running, again, a litigation department for plaintiff personal injury attorney who did plaintiff personal injury in addition to real estate. And he had come across times when both were very slow, and he was looking at ways to increase business. And in October 2010, New York became a no-fault divorce state. So basically what that means is it was very easy to help couples get divorced under no fault rather than going through fault, which it used to be. I suggested in 2011 that he add that. He asked me to do the research, and I did. And while I was doing the research, I stumbled upon mediation. So that was like two ends of the spectrum that we can grab onto. And I put together a package. He liked it. I paid for my own mediation training. And for 2 years, almost 2 years, while I was still working for him, we did mediation and no-fault divorce. And then in the third year, I broke out on my own, and have been doing it full-time since.
Great. Now, you're also a veteran. You were in the Air Force, correct?
Yep, almost 17 years. I did 10 years active and 6.5 reserve in the Air Force.
Great. What'd you do in the military? What'd you do in the Air Force, if I might ask?
My very first job was aircraft fuel systems technician, and then when I left, when I retired, I was an airborne warning and control systems operator. In fact, I was involved in running the air war during Iraqi freedom.
Really?
I was also an academic instructor when I was in Germany, which was really was a great job. So I enjoyed my time. I enjoyed traveling. I got to go see and do a lot of things I never would have, had I not been in the military.
Absolutely. Now, you're not an attorney, but yet you are a graduate of law school, correct?
Correct. I graduated Concord Law School, and I got my executive juris doctorate from Concord Law School, and I also received my master's degree from Creighton University in negotiation and dispute resolution.
Very good. Very good. Why mediation? Why do you believe in mediation, Jeff?
It's just so much of a better way to solve issues rather than go with litigation. And in all fairness, there are some cases just have to be litigated, and I acknowledge that. But people out there need to know that mediation is another avenue to go through. So and be able to make that decision and make an educated choice rather than years later after they spent all their money and, I didn't know mediation existed. So mediation allows the parties, it's their process. Whatever goes into any of the final paperwork is what they want, not what somebody tells them what to do. The process is completed a lot quicker and a lot less money out of your pocket, and parties are able to save their time, money, and sanity by going through the mediation process. In addition, they're more likely to abide by the terms of the agreement because they both had a say into what goes in there versus being told what to do, right? And then one side at some point doesn't live up to the agreement, there's a breach, they got to go back to court again, there's more legal fees. The odds of that happening are very slim when couples and or parties go through the mediation process.
The question has been asked, what about people that are currently involved in litigation and in court? If they decide at a moment that they want to pull back and go to mediation and resolve their conflict that way, is that possible? Can they pull?
Absolutely. I've had couples put their attorneys on hold and then come through the mediation process to finish up. I have a different combination. I've had couples, the same thing, I'll have two attorneys, maybe there's one or two issues that they don't feel they're getting anywhere with the attorneys. They'll come to me, they'll resolve it, I'll do a memorandum of understanding for them. They bring it to their attorneys, they settle everything, and they go on their merry way. So different combinations of things. And or, look, we want to try mediation, but we want to retain our attorneys as consulting attorneys during the mediation process. And so the options are there.
Are you able? Do you work with attorneys? I mean, do you have attorneys that you can work with that respect you as a mediator? Because you would think sometimes
absolutely.
that
I have attorneys that I refer business to as well as them to me. And And here's the issue. Again, because I recognize that litigation is a viable option there, and sometimes mediation doesn't work. If it gets to that, then there are attorneys that I'll refer them to who I know will, who will help them and genuinely care about trying to get the resolution that they want. And then, attorneys that I talk to, what if a couple comes in to an attorney? So, Eric, you're an attorney, and for whatever reason, either it's a very basic case, or maybe they can't afford your fees, the retainer, the process. A general retainer in New York is anywhere from $5,000 to $15,000 if you're lucky, and that's not going to be all inclusive. And so, a good litigated divorce, going on, a year and a half, 2 years, could cost 25 or 30 grand each without even blinking of an eye. And the reason I know that's true is because one of the things I also do is I'm an arbitrator with the Nassau Supreme Court for attorney-client fee disputes. And I've been doing that for a little over 2 years. And most of them, if not all, were matrimonial cases. And I've seen these bills. So they come to you and they can't afford it, let's just say. So, and you say, okay, well, look, go to Jeff, he's a mediator, right? And then I refer one of that party back to you as a review attorney or consulting attorney. So rather than losing, all of, 20, 30 grand, or whatever the case may be, that you would potentially get, so maybe you pick up $500 or $1,000, whatever you would charge to be a consulting or review attorney. So it's a matter of adding value and helping each other out in a professional level.
Absolutely. Jeff, you handle your geographical area is Long Island. Is it all of Long Island, New York? And give us what areas will you handle?
I'll handle all areas. Long Island, the boroughs. I've done online dispute resolution, which is via online process, via phone conference. I've done out-of-state mediations, the same thing. So I'm generally, I have the ability to mediate any case anywhere. And if people are willing to do it remotely, I could do that as well. Or if they want to, which has happened on a few occasions, pay for my travel to be somewhere else, out of state, I could do that also. Understood.
So that for you that are listening right now, if you're looking at the When You Need a Mediator website and you see Jeff's profile, you're going to see on there online dispute resolution, and there's a link to that. And then when you see that on one of the underneath somebody's picture on their profile. All right, that means that they can do online disputes. So if you choose, let's say, for instance, you're in another state where Jeff can practice mediation, and you click on that, you can actually deal with Jeff no matter where you are, and that's a great thing. But for right now, what's the best telephone number, or let's talk about telephone numbers first. What's the best way to reach you, Jeff?
I offer a free 30-minute consultation. I could be reached 516-308-7808. My website is mymediationservices.com, where all the information is on there. And in regards to doing out-of-state cases, while I might not be familiar with the court paper for a different state, what I can do is I can mediate, I can provide a memorandum of understanding that both sides talked about during the process. They could then take that document and go to a local attorney or themselves fill out no-fault divorce paperwork and file it with the court.
Very good. Also, I note here that you train mediators, that you have a training course that you offer as well.
Absolutely. I have a 5-day, 40-hour course for people who want to be family divorce mediators. I also have a 3-day course, which is kind of like an introduction to being a mediator, conflict resolution specialist. And I'm in the process of putting together at least the 3-day course as a online version.
Very good.
Then,
that's always great.
If it's something that you want to do and you like, then not only do you get that certificate, obviously, but then you would get a reduced price for the 5-day, 40-hour in-person course.
I also see here that you're part of, or that you have recently been with John Maxwell, that you're part of the Maxwell team.
Well, I'm certified with John Maxwell as a coach, speaker, and trainer. So I offer, leadership trainings. I do leadership for youth groups, for organizations, for time management, things like that. The whole thing is, as a mediator and as a speaker trainer, I add value to people and help them become better versions of themselves.
There you go.
So speaking and training was just right along the same lines as what I was doing, and I'm able to help people, and I have, over the years.
Absolutely. Certainly have. All right, one more time for your phone number and your website address, if you would, please.
Okay, the phone number is 516-308-7808, and my website is mymediationservices.com.
Jeffrey Bloom, everybody. Thanks, Jeff, for your time today. Jeff is not only an amazing individual, but he's an amazing mediator. So if you're out there and you're dealing with an issue that you don't want to take to court, you want to try to save yourself some money and some time, mediation will definitely do that. And Jeff is just one of the many mediators out there that do this full time and that really take to heart to want to help people. So, Jeff, have a great day, and thank you so much for joining me today.
Thanks, you too, Eric. Take care.